Okay, for you Safety Sallies out there, check it, dude. Next to my sink, my filthy sink, I have a bottle with some mysterious fluid in it, right? And I got my soap dispenser right here, and I'm about to clean this disgusting cutting board that I chopped Max's chicken on. And yes, I have some stuff sitting in here because I'm too lazy to wash it right now. And I have to clean this area before I prep the beef jerky. So, for all you Safety Sally naysayers, hall monitor assholes out there, this is a 25% bleach solution that I just threw into a Heinz ketchup, repurposed, by the way, Heinz ketchup bottle. So shut up. I don't want to hear it. Oh, you gotta clean that area. And you're like, clean that disgusting cutting board. Shut up. It's clean. Dick. Okay, is that better? You like that? That's how I clean my fucking countertop, dude. Safety Sallies. I put that 25% bleach solution on here. Yes, because I do raw chicken with Max and raw bones and all kinds of raw stuff here. Bacon, eggs. And I process a lot of stuff just right here. And so, yes, I put a 25% bleach solution on here just to clean it up. And that's another thing. You don't get fooled by some of the shit you hear on other websites. Jackhammer Mike is going to tell you the honest to God truth that, quite honestly, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so don't listen to me. But, no. I heard it explained to me once. People that are against your dog eating raw and all the hazards that could come with eating raw. Again, shut up. First of all, you're giving your dog food grade, human food grade material. So, unless the store is going to have a problem with salmonella, E. coli, or whatever other crappy germs are out there that are going to make people sick, you're not going to have any issue with it right off the bat. Yeah, now, you leave a bag of chicken out for a day or two, and then you splay it out here on the counter, and then cut it up and try to cook it or whatever, yeah, you might have some issues. You might have some very serious stomach issues, which are pretty much going to lead to just diarrhea and, you know, maybe the flu-like symptoms or some other horseshit. But again, shut up. You Safety Sallies, you people. Making beef jerky. Awesome. So, now, again, another comment to you Safety Sallies out there and other people that are going to chime in and drop a bomb on this station. Oh, look at how disgusting that cutting board is. Shut up. Every cutting board that's been worked is going to look like that. Okay, maybe a wood one is going to blend that in, but a white one, absolutely going to see that. So again, shut up. I want to hear it. I just got done sharpening up the knife a little bit so I can trim this meat. And if you put it in the freezer, I got it from the store, put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. It firms it up a little bit, makes it easier to mess with, trim. and everything. And if it gets a little bit soft, squishy, whatever that you don't like, save this little pan, this little styrofoam. Oh my God, global warming, a petroleum product. This is gonna be in the earth for 1,000,000 years before it breaks down. We're all gonna die. Ah! Max is looking like, dude, what is your deal? Stupid human has finally gone over the edge. Save this so you can put it back in the fridge. This is a tri-tip roast. Love tri-tip, but it's got a lot of fat on the bottom. It's made that way. So you want to shave off as much fat as you can and give it to your dogness if you can. Hey, it's TCP. It's our buddy. What up, dude? No. Oh, he's not fit for print. He's not ready for prime time. Makeup department hasn't really got to him yet, so. Alright, shave off all this fat. You don't want any of that. It's not necessary when you're doing jerky. It's good when you're doing steaks, though. I love a good piece of burnt fat. Yum. So slice that shit off of there. Trim it up. Yeah, that's a big ol' honka. Try not to get rid of too much meat. Well, dogness is going to be loving that. And get this last little hunk off of here. And a good sharp knife, boys and girls, is definitely the way to go. You got more chance, like they say, you've got more chance of getting cut with a dull knife than you do with a sharp one. Because you have to push on it more and work it more and blah, 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 blah. Alright, so we're going to probably just do that. That's nice. Alright, I'm going to chop it up for dogness here. I'm have to even sharpen this a little bit more. This is a cheapy Good Cook Winco knife. I just wanted something to slice some meat with. I have a filet. What the hell are these things? Oh, Miracle Blade. Yeah, I've got Miracle Blade knives. But they're not as miracle-y as they could be. This one especially is just a little bit way flimsy. I need 1/8" pieces, and quite honestly, oh, look at that. That's doggone goodness right there. Are you in heaven, dog? Maxwell? You in heaven? Shut up and feed it to me, stupid human. Oh, yeah. Oh, so good. Oh, I'm in dog heaven. Oh. Yeah. All right. So. Okay. Anyway, saying, Winco doesn't have, or Winco didn't have really good tri-tip earlier. They had one raunchy looking one, and it was at a discount, so it's like, fat right here, let's get rid of that. From what I understand, fat goes rancid faster than the meat does, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time. See, it's getting soft again. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to put this back in the tray. I'm going to put it back in the fridge, the freezer for a little bit, thicken it up, make it a little bit easier to chop on, and then we'll get right back to you. Dogness, you're drooling. Dude, that good stuff? Oh. Why don't you feed that to me every night? Dude. Well, here's the reason why. If you're actually really serious about that question, one of the reasons why you don't want to feed your dog, and this is why you don't want to feed your dog canned dog food all the time. Kibble, I guess, is better. I prefer the bones. So I like him working his teeth. I like him pulling the sinew off of the bones and raking it through his teeth like dental floss. Good French fries, by the way. And kibble, all it does is, you know, if you're eating cheese curls and shit like that, what does it do in your teeth? It just sits in there in a big glob in between the cracks of your teeth. Dogs don't floss. No, you don't floss, do you? So, kibble and meat, canned meat, there's nothing there to scrape his teeth. There's nothing there to scrape the tartar off of his teeth. So, Dogness is going to have gobs of goo stuck to his teeth. That's why dogs have dog breath, bad breath. They don't brush their teeth. I mean, that's the way it is. You don't brush your dog's teeth every night, do you? And you wonder why his breath stinks? Well, that's because all that kibble is sitting in there, in between the cracks, in the back of his mouth, in the pockets of his gums, like it does, you know, eating Cheetos. Sits in your mouth. And the canned meat, it does nothing to scrape the shit off of his teeth and clean his mouth out. So when you feed a dog raw, and I really don't want to get off on a raw tangent, but I am going to get off on a raw tangent here for a minute. If you feed your dog raw, the bones that you give them, the chicken leg bones, and that's, you know, really what I feed him for the most part, because he's so big and he eats so much. I couldn't afford to feed him ribs every day. I wish I could, but ribs supplement his meal. But the chicken leg quarters, so he gets a leg and a thigh, part of a backbone, and all those bones, he just crushes them like pretzels. And all that's doing is scraping all the tartar off of his teeth. Uncooked, by the way, that's what raw is all about. Uncooked, don't cook it. Don't feed your dog a bunch of vegetables and shit like that. If he likes something, feed him little bits. But dogs are freaking carnivores. Their teeth are all designed to eat meat. They're not designed to eat vegetables. Again, I'll remind you that Dingus here loves frozen blueberries. Oh, Maxwell, don't you, boy? Yeah, he likes frozen blueberries. So I'll give him some. He likes peanut butter, so I'll give him some of that. He likes he'll eat the peanuts because he likes to crunch on those. But you know, as far as raw goes, he's getting ribs, beef spare ribs, and you know, he'll chow down on those as a treat. Maybe every couple of days. You know, I break him up. You know, I'll give him some beef ribs. I'll give him some femur or some leg bone, marrow bones. I can't really show you. I'll give him some of those kind of marrow bones. And then there's another bag of marrow bones that are mostly like shoulder knuckles and other joints and other parts of the marrow. So he gets like 3 different kinds of bones. I know, good stuff, huh, Maxwell? Dad, I'm exhausted just listening to you. You give me a headache. Anyway, yeah, so the marrow bones offset some of the protein and things that he needs. He's getting some of the fat out of the marrow. Marrow bones are fantastic for him because chicken is really, really lean. And then also the bacon end pieces that I chop up for him for dinner, so he gets some fat. Westbound 101 east of 56th Street.
wrong direction was code 693 before hitting the other vehicle at 6051 hours.
Whew. 1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12. Cat in the tree. Over.
Southbound 101 frontage.
Ooh.
Code 4 sounded like. Copy code 4 sounded like at 6051.
Sweet. I heard a chase this morning, or well, it wasn't kind of a chase. Some dudes were chasing some car, and the car reported it. And this is DPS. I'm gonna turn this off because it's distracting. This is DPS, and yeah, some car was chasing another car, and they were getting on off the freeway, and they were on for about a half hour on the phone to the dispatcher here. So this chase was going up to North Scottsdale, back down, across, all over. It was pretty cool. And then I had to go to a job, or I was at a job, and I had to go into the customer's house, so I had to turn that off. So I didn't really figure out what happened, but I think they got busted. I think the dudes got arrested. I don't know. I don't know if they were talking about the same people, but when I came back out, they were talking about somebody getting arrested, and somebody had warrants, wants and warrants from somewhere, and they were all busted. So yeah, it's pretty cool, fun. Now, hey, oh God, I'm just going on a roll tonight. The ham radio is not a scanner. It just does pick up some DPS stuff. Okay, it's cool to listen to, but don't use it as a scanner. If you need it as a scanner, buy a scanner. You'll get more variety out of it. Anyway, all right. Well, so that's dogness. I'm gonna get back to the jerky here in a minute. I'm gonna give it about 5-10 more minutes. Cruise a little bit of YouTube and see what's going on out there, and we'll be back with you here in a minute. All right. Well, hopefully this isn't gonna chop off the top of my head or whatever. Got a little more fat. Trim off. This is all right. You really don't need to see me trim this up, do you? Basically, what I'm gonna do, cut it into 1/8 inch thick pieces. Oh, it's frozen. Since the store, Fry's, couldn't do it, dicks. Don't get it too thin. So anyway, Fry's did not have a way to slice this. Winco did, but they just didn't have enough of their shit out there. And I guess it doesn't matter if it's a little bit thin. It's gonna all be good. About an 1/8 inch thick, from what I heard. Something about like that. If you have to cut it yourself, definitely put it in the freezer for a little bit, thicken it up, so it's a little easier to cut. It's very stiff on the bottom here, so I think I'm going to probably just like start it with that, and then hit the soft stuff. If you can, your butcher, your grocery store will slice your shit for you, no charge. Winco just didn't have any really good cuts of tri-tip. I hear Eye of Round roast is really good too. So what we're going to do is, and this is just my version, I'm just doing it. It's not because I want to be better than the contingency plan. It's not how it's made. It's the recipe, you know, that we have to follow. So, you know, he's already said that, you know, he had a little bit too much salt, which is no big deal. It preserves well. The salt that I'm going to have in here is going to come from the soy sauce, the teriyaki sauce, the Worcester, and then for flavoring, I'm going to put the Famous Dave's Sweet and Zesty on there. I'm going to put a little garlic salt and garlic powder, onion powder. I'll probably dab some sea salt in there, and kind of keep track of the recipe, because again, it's not the person that's cooking it, it's the recipe that we're going by. And you know, what we're looking for is kind of Bob Barker quality beef jerky. And I think he does it either professionally or as a hobby, but his beef jerky is really good. This is Colorado style, and we haven't had it yet. We did notice that he did notch it this time, so that was a good deal. The Cajun spicy, we love this one, Bob. Thank you. I haven't tried that one yet, but you know, everything that he sent us is really good. So, you know, if Bob decides to share his recipe, we'll let you all know. But again, it's not the person making it, it's the recipe that you go by, and how you marinate it, how you get that salt and preservatives into it, and then it also depends on how you're gonna dry it. You know, yeah, I would prefer to smoke it if I could. I don't have a smoker yet or anything adequate to do this by, but that's probably something coming up, folks. TCP and I have talked about it. You know, we're out there at Camp Contingency, and we do have to shoot a steer for food. We have got to figure out a way to preserve this meat, or it's just going to go to waste, and all we're going to be doing is feeding a lot of predators, which I don't really necessarily want around campsite. Again, nice, consistent, roughly 1/8 inch slices. Sharp knife is your friend, definitely. But yeah, we have to figure out a way to keep the flies, the UNICEF flies. I mean, I swear to God, it's like being in Uganda or something out there sometimes. You know, when the summer gets going, flies are out. Holy crap, they're all over you. The only thing missing is my swollen belly and my pencil neck. And, you know, the UNICEF flies are just all over the place out there. These are a little bit thick, but that's fine. Maybe we'll give them the dog nest. Maxwell, want a treat her? Here. A treat? Yeah. I don't know, dude. What are you doing? You don't normally feed me stuff like that. Here. Oh, it's frozen. Well, you know what? Quite honestly, half the time that dog eats frozen food anyway. All his bones are always frozen. His chicken is always refrigerated, if not partially frozen. Just because we've just fed him that way forever. And he doesn't really like warm room temperature meat. He likes it frozen. And it's actually better for him, I think. It's, you know, if he's chomping on a frozen leg quarter, all it's doing is cleaning his teeth, guys. Everything that you can possibly give them to clean their teeth. Don't think Kibble's going to do it. Kibble will not clean their teeth. All it's going to do is stick in there and glob in there and cause problems. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to just turn you off for a second, and we're going to figure out a way to do some sort of a recipe on this. Dump this in a bowl. We're going to marinate this overnight. So stand by. Alright, back. Now when I typically do marinated steak for barbecue or whatever, I do 1 part Worcestershire and 2 parts teriyaki. So what I want to do is I'm going to do kind of the same thing. And if you have too much juice, that's fine. It's a marinade, okay? You're supposed to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 part Worcestershire, 2 parts teriyaki. This is very salty, so I'm going to do 1 part of soy sauce, and then I'll probably do 2 parts of Famous Dave's and see where we're at. This is more sweet. The salt content on this is 25% or 610 milligrams. What is the salt content on here? Oh, 65 milligrams. I'm going to probably do it the other way. This is a high salt too. This is 960 milligrams. So these two are very high salt, and this is not. But I do these two for my steak, and because I'm trying something new, we're just going to have to wing it. So let's get going here. So I'm going to do 1 part Worcestershire. So right now I'm just using a cup, or half cup. I want to just kind of keep an eye on where we're at, but I want to have these ratios down. So I've got half a cup of Worcester. Now I'm going to use, oh, you know what? I've got an open container. Oh, dude, you're going to get pulled over. No, I have an open container of teriyaki because this is from the last TCP go at it. So there's 1. There's 2. This is leaking. Son of a bitch. Cool. Alright, now soy sauce. We want the soy sauce because, I mean, we want some salt in here. You know, we want some preservatives. So we're going to do 2 of these. That sucks. It's just too slow. Look at that shit. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Now I don't know about the Famous Dave's. I don't know what kind of ratio to give it. But we're going to give it at least 2 parts just to give it some flavor. Alright, your mileage may vary, but this is great. It's zesty and sweet, mostly sweet, but it's a great barbecue sauce. Got great flavor to it. We're going to garlic powder, onion powder. Shit, where's the... Now I'm going to do a tablespoon. So I got this all documented. It'll be easy to follow. or a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, and we don't really have anything in there yet that gives it a little bit of a kick. So I think what we're going to do is we'll add let's do a half a teaspoon of paprika. And we'll give it some cracked pepper. Just because we don't want to get too crazy with it. You know, if it gets too harsh, then we're not going to know what to take out of it. If it's not harsh enough, then we know what to add to it. I think. I don't know. I'm not a professional chef. Let's see what else. Oh, let's add some Morton popcorn salt. Oh, just kidding. I just want to stick with the principle that less is more. I mean, if it's a little bit weak or whatever, or funky, you can always, I'm just trying to get the last little bits of the heavy stuff out of there. You can always add to it. Let's just see what this is going to taste like after we whisk it up here. It may need some salt. Don't know. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. Might need a little more salt. Hey, are you up? Hey. Can I come in? Here. Yeah. Need more salt? No. I just put it in. You think that's all right? Okay. Okay, we got a thumbs up from TCP. So no salt. We're very salt shy right now because our stuff's gonna last like 50 frickin' million years. It's gonna be like a fucking mummy. All right, so that's good to go. Now, I think I would pretty much prefer to put that in a Ziploc bag. And if you've ever been fooled by the waterproofness of a Ziploc, you'll double bag it. But as it is right now, we're going to put the meat in. We're going to let it set overnight. Room temperature is actually better, I think, for absorption. But some people might get freaked out. Oh, that's a big, thick-ass piece. Some people might get freaked out about it. Actually, that's going to be actually good. You might vary your sizes a little bit just to see which ones you're more comfortable with. The tri-tip The end piece has got a lot of fat in it, but as you can see, most of the meat in the center has got a little bit of marbling, but not much. It's a good cut of beef, and I had them, you know, I cut it against the grain, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna marinate this overnight, and we'll see what it tastes like in the morning. Well, we're not gonna really see what it tastes like. We're gonna do it and forget about it. But yeah, if you have ever experienced a Ziploc nightmare where you had your shit marinating in a Ziploc bag and all of a sudden all you got is a big fucking puddle of marinade on the side of your counter, yeah, it kind of sucks. So, double bag it. What the hell? It doesn't cost that much. Oh, by the way, you want to knead it so that you're getting all the marinade in between all the cracks and crevices, nooks and crannies. Well, one happy horse shit. Maybe you want to do that. Get it in this bag so you've got this extra layer of protection. There you go. And then you can just totally knead it. Like a double-hulled oil tanker. Yes, sirree. Alright, knead that shit around. You work it, baby. Alright. Looks good to me. So we're gonna let this soak overnight. Tomorrow we'll be back at it. Hopefully not too hungover. And we'll go from there. So I'm gonna post this now. Stay tuned tomorrow, tubers. And help a brother out. Check out my channel. Subscribe if you aren't already. And click on my Amazon links if you can. Or go to my webpage and look at some of the cool shit that I bought over the years. You might want something. I'm telling you that I buy top quality shit. It's not the most expensive shit in the world, but it's good quality. Well, I think my website is about half of the products that I've bought over the last 3 years is about half done. Oh, one more thing. Speaking of Bob Barker, Bob is sponsoring a knife giveaway. This is a BK&T K-Bar. I forgot what the B stood for. It's the designer's name. The K and the T stand for knife and tool. And this is a K-Bar that they produce. It's not a K-Bar fighting knife, but this is a K-Bar. We've got in a great Kydex sheath. Great ability to adjust it. It's MOLLE compatible. It's a fresh knife. Quite honestly, it's sharp as shit. And it's a freaking, this is a big ass slab of meat right there, folks. If you have a need to baton wood, this is a major asset. Maybe a little bit heavy for my liking, but I mean, it's a beast. This thing is a total beast. And you can beat the shit out of this thing with any kind of wood and baton, split logs, whatever. And this is a great freaking knife for that. I love how it's tapered. And I'm going to get into a little bit of a knife review on this. Just because Bob's donating this for us, for me, quite honestly, to ask or have you guys ask questions, or not answer a question, and one of you guys is going to win this. Okay? BK&T K-Bar. This is a $70 knife, guys. This is not a cheap knockoff piece of crap. That's a good quality $70 knife. It's expensive. And we're still in the process of kind of trying to figure out what to ask you guys, but I think we've got it kind of narrowed down. Just to get a, to maybe put in your notes, I'm gonna possibly, oops, sorry, spit food out. I'm gonna possibly be leaning towards, and I'm still creeped out about it, guys, to be honest with you, the whole taking a prisoner thing. I don't really see any positive aspect of it. I don't see where a prisoner walks away, and I don't see taking care of a prisoner. I see a lot of darkness with taking a prisoner. I'm definitely on the same page with TCP when we were talking about the other day, between the two of us, that I totally want to just sit back in the bush and observe, and if they walk away, they walk away. If they stay, or they find something, or see something, or smell something, or whatever that trips their trigger, that won't be good for them. So, it's a very troubling ethical subject. And I know, yeah, a lot of you guys are going to roll in here, oh, dude, it was no question, I just shoot the fucker. Really? You're going to commit cold-blooded murder? It's very easy to say that when you've never done it before. Especially if you don't have any military training. You know, some of us in the military, we're all trained killers, and that's what they train us to do. That's our first and foremost goal. Kill them before they kill you, or before they kill your buddy. However, if you've not actually ever seen combat, or you've not actually ever taken a life, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about until you actually do it. And it's going to really depend on what kind of a life are you taking. You know, there's going to be mom and her kids. Mom trying to break down your door during shit hits fan to steal your shit. And kids are out in the front yard. You gonna shoot mom? What if it's dad and a couple of kids? You know, yeah, he wants to break your door down because he doesn't know anybody's home. You guys are hiding in your fort and you're being quiet. You're having noise discipline. And he doesn't know anybody's there. So he decides to kick the door down to see if you got any supplies inside. What do? Blow him away the minute he walks through the door? The kids are out in the front yard. You just killed their dad, the breadwinner. Now you got to take care of two kids. It's a really tricky situation. Okay, now scratch that or just set that aside. Another good question I'd like to ask is, what is the biggest fear you have in a shit hits the fan situation? Now I know most of you guys, all of you guys pretty much, that are tuned into this channel, Contingency Plans channel, and some of the other ones that we follow, Small Town Conspiracy, Prepping Sappers, you know, all of us channels that you guys watch. What are your biggest fears? Or the biggest fear? Just pick one. That's kind of, I think that's where we're going to go with that. What's your biggest fear during shit hits the fan? And I think I want to preface it with saying, most of us with ease could go a month without electricity, without water, or other things. We could probably go 2 months, maybe 3 months, or pushing it. But let's say 6 months down the road. After 6 months of no rule of law, and I think that you'll find really quickly on how extreme the situation is. I think within a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, you'll find out that if there's no rule of law, you're pretty much fucked. Life is fucked as we know it. So, well, I'm going to fine tune it. I think that's kind of where I want to go. I would really like to hear a paragraph of it, or some short little essay or something to win this knife. Compliments of Bob Barker. Great little knife. It's a great knife, dude. It's a great knife. Good camp knife. Completely MOLLE compatible. So, and I think what I'm going to do, if you'll indulge me, I'm going to throw in at least a Suck Less patch, morale patch, Velcro. I might even throw in a Don't Be a Dick, just to sweeten the pot on it. So, we're still kicking it around, so just stand by, don't get all excited yet. TCP and I are going to make an announcement. I think it's a big help. Bob is trying to direct some people to my channel, and so is TCP. So we'll probably broadcast this on his channel, and I will broadcast it on mine, so that you guys have a heads up and see what's going on. But most of you guys are on both of our channels anyway, so you know, just stay tuned. The next day or two, we will be bringing out some shit. So right now, I'm just gonna produce the making the jerky. We got it in the fridge. It's marinating overnight. Rock on, Garth. Happy Friday to you. And with that, I am out. Let's see. Is that like the cutest thing you've ever seen? Big old Maxwell, pirate dog. Protector of all Fort Contingency, with his blankie in his mouth. He's like, dude, where's my food? How come you're not feeding me? Well, I'm not feeding you because you just had a big old hunk of steak and fat, and that's all you're gonna get tonight. I'll throw you a bone here in a little bit, but that's all you're gonna get. He's so ridiculous. It's his little blankie. He just loves these things. I think they're Little Mermaid towels or something. But yeah, that's just like his favorite things that he loves to cuddle with. He's got 2 of them, and they're like completely shredded. They got holes all in them, but he wads them up in his mouth, and he like walks around like a lab with his baby. Yeah, and that's his thing. Huh. You're so cute. But Dad, I'm starving. I'm so hungry I could eat my blanket. Feed me, stupid human. I'm starving. Ridiculous. Alright, Max the Pirate Dog making a cameo. Say hi, tubers. Say hi, tubers. I'm gonna drop my blanket because I'm starving, and you're not feeding me, dude. So no more sideshow for you, human. You're on your own.